When did buying a new video game turn into a second job as a system administrator? We buy a product for $70, we install it, and we are immediately met with a list of demands. Tweak the shadow quality, adjust the render scale, download a fan-made performance mod, or simply buy a new $1,000 graphics card. This ends now. The burden of optimization has been shifted unfairly from developers to consumers, and it's time to push back. The simple truth is, gamers should not optimize hardware for games. Developers should optimize games for gamers. We've normalized receiving unfinished products. We call them day one patches or launch troubles. But what they really are is a developer saying, here's the code, you figure out how to make it run well. You shouldn't have to Google a dozen different Reddit threads just to hit a stable 60 frames per second on hardware that meets the recommended specs. The industry has created a bizarre cycle. Developers release a game, gamers spend hours troubleshooting, and then they have to invest in new, increasingly powerful and expensive hardware just to keep up with the next poorly optimized title. This is not innovation. This is corporate laziness dressed up as a hardware requirement. The developer is in control of everything that matters. They built the game engine, they set the asset budget, they decided on the texture resolutions, and they wrote the code. When a game runs flawlessly on a closed ecosystem, a console, it proves that optimization is a choice, not a technical barrier. The PC market is diverse, yes, but good optimization isn't about supporting every 10-year-old chip. It's about setting a reasonable minimum standard and ensuring the vast middle ground, the 1080p, mid-range GPU majority, gets a quality experience. Optimization is not a bonus feature. It's a fundamental measure of product quality. Cutting corners on optimization is simply cutting corners on development, leading to technical debt the customer has to pay. This trend is deeply anti-consumer. Poor optimization doesn't just waste your time, it costs you money. When a developer releases a game that demands the latest, most expensive hardware for a decent experience, they are effectively locking out the millions of gamers who play on mid-range or slightly older machines. Look at the data. As the video linked below points out, the vast majority of PC gamers are still on 1080p monitors and 8 GB of VRAM. When you release a game that runs terribly on that common hardware, you are treating the majority of your customers as second-class citizens. Gamers are buying a finished product, not a beta test. We pay the same price as console users. We deserve the same level of care. The solution is a fundamental shift in philosophy, a philosophy we actually see working at companies like Valve. Valve engineers the Steam Machine and Steam Deck by first looking at the average gamer's reality, designing the hardware for the 70% who are already playing, and then ensuring the software, SteamOS, is tightly optimized for that target. That is what a developer-centric approach looks like. Developers need to reverse the process. Optimize the game for the most common PC components first, and then scale up. We should utilize technologies like FSR and DLSS, but these should be an enhancement, not a crutch for poor base code. The goal should be to make a game run well on average hardware, not just run at all on the absolute bleeding edge. The gamer's wallet and the gamer's time are not unlimited resources for developers to exploit. We deserve games that respect the investment we've already made in our PCs. Stop tweaking config files. Stop buying unnecessary hardware. Start demanding quality. It's time for the industry to put the optimized back in launch.